Yeah, we're still about 2 minutes early for the people on YouTube that are seeing this before everybody else. It's that time of the day again. It is Monday morning, 3/4/2024, Kingman, Arizona, heart of Route 66. And sun is up now, but I got some good shots while we were in Discord of the sunrise. It starts with the fire in the sky. Of course, you don't see any clouds now, but it was all cloudy and it starts to look like fire in the sky. And then as the sun comes up more and more, it kind of burns off. It was pretty neat. I took a few pictures, and we will post them when I get a chance. Probably after this, right? Okay, so where are we? Okay, if you don't know, we broadcast live on 3 Facebook pages and on our YouTube channel. We have a couple YouTube channels. The normal Live Kingman YouTube channel has our weather broadcast 24/7 with the weather cam there. And then we also have Kuhl Productions, LLC, Kuhl, Kuhl Productions, LLC, which is another YouTube channel. And of course we have Kingman Pool Players, which we had some pool videos and some other stuff on there. And then on Facebook we have Live Kingman, Kuhl Productions, and I'm not sure, but maybe we're only broadcasting on 2 on Facebook, but 3 channels total. Okay, so today we're going to talk about food in the Southwest. And if you don't know, of course, Mexican food is very prevalent here. And you hear a lot of people saying, oh, all we have is Mexican restaurants. But Arizona is 70% Mexican restaurants. And why do we have things like this? It's because the food is readily available. The things that you need to make Mexican food are readily available. Just like, of course, it's Americanized Chinese here, but if you go to China, it's going to be Chinese food. If you go to areas where they have the food, that's the kind of food you're going to have. So otherwise, you have to have it shipped in. It's not fresh, and that creates its own issues, of course, in price, and keeping it fresh, getting it here fresh. And we have a better distribution than we've had in the last 100 years since we got frozen foods and such. So we do have a lot more choices, and we get to see a lot more cultures and food from other areas, just because of the way the food system has grown, and everybody kind of eats everything nowadays. Although everything in America is kind of Americanized Chinese food isn't really Chinese food. Mexican food isn't really Mexican food. Italian food isn't really Italian food. But we do have immigrants in this country that do the original old world style of their dishes. And so when I worked in the restaurant industry, I worked with Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, Vietnamese, and Mexicans, all in the same location. We shared lots of different food ideas and things like that. But of course here in the Southwest, chilies are popular. Just like, so I don't know if you know what a mirepoix is, but that is, in cooking, it's a base for French cooking. Was it a cup of onions, half a cup of celery, and half a cup of carrots? And so one of those ingredients gets replaced with bell peppers if you're in the South area, and then chilies if you're in, the Western South, Southwestern cooking. So these are used to make bases for sauces, gravies, all kinds of stuff. And you see it's used, but as you notice, the pepper and the chili are the same. Sweet pepper, sweet bell pepper, and chili are basically the same plant. And so the difference is one has heat and one is sweet. And there can be chili peppers that are sweet too, but the heat kind of either balances or overtakes it. And in cooking, it is a balance. You have 5 flavors, and you need to balance those completely for the flavors to pop, for everything to come together and feel cohesive and feel great. There's lots of other techniques that are used. Of course, this is just sauce making and bases of sauce. But if you consider you're going to make even something like I make ham and beans every year. I don't know if people know about the ham and bean thing, but if you have ham for Thanksgiving or Christmas or the holidays, and then you take the bones off that ham and you cook them down, or if you're even poorer and you can't afford ham and you get leftover bones and knuckles and things like that, it actually used to come from ham hocks, was really popular. And you cook that down with beans and make the dish at the beginning of the new year, and it's supposed to bring you, good food and fortune throughout the year. And so every year in January, of course, we have leftover ham bones, so we do make it. And originally I made it with ham hocks, and I love it with ham hocks, but a lot of other people don't like ham hocks. And if you move into the Lunar New Year, then the same basic thing happens with other countries. They have dishes for the new year that are supposed to bring you good fortune and food throughout the year. In the Southwest, because of the heat and the dry climate, of course, up here in the high desert, we have better weather, not so hot. A little colder, though, than down, if you look in the low-lying areas like Bullhead City, of course, in this area. And that, I think their elevation is 500 or 800 feet, and we're 3,300 to 3,500. Excuse me. But if you look down in that area, citrus will grow well because the citrus needs to not get a late freeze. And up here, things like apricots and citrus, they will bloom at the first warm weather, which we get in the middle of February, and we're going to get a freeze at the end of February, probably maybe even in March or April sometimes. Where down on the river you wouldn't. So down there, you're going to have food that's more prevalent in those areas. Where up here, we're not going to have that food readily available. Of course, they're only 30 minutes away, so you could go down there and get it and bring it back. Or, California does a lot of citrus and bring it over, and avocados and bring it over. But that's why you have 70% Mexican restaurants here, because the ingredients for that are readily available and cheap. Makes it easier for them to do it. Now, if you look, they have an actual food map, and it shows you what restaurants are prevalent in what states and areas. And it's pretty amazing how the food chart shows the growth of certain foods around America. And if you look through, of course, history from about I want to say the 60s, 70s, when fast food started to get prevalent, and restaurants started to get more prevalent because we had more money to spend on those kind of things, where we didn't before that. Of course, the Depression was just 30 years before that. So as those restaurants grow, it spreads across the United States, and it does show you what becomes popular and how it has changed in the area. But still, each area has more of its own style of food than anywhere else. But the two most popular foods in America are like Chinese and Italian. And Italian only gets the top bill because of pizza. And believe me, pizza is nothing like it was in Italy, as my cousin would attest when he went there, or what Italian people would eat. And it was the same in the Chinese restaurant. We didn't eat what was served to the general public. They cooked a meal just for the kitchen crew. And some of the foods that we had there were very hard to get. They had to be dried and shipped in from companies that only made it in China or Korea or Vietnam or wherever we needed the ingredient from. And so that brings us to, preserving food. And preserving food has been a long tradition for most of the human race. Without preserving food, it makes it hard to last through the winter, as the people definitely in Alaska would attest. You have to have ways to store food, and that's why we dry things like beans, which grow pretty prevalent here. Pinto bean is very popular. Black bean is very popular because it grows good in the Southwest. And then you can dry them, and they will last you a long time. There's other things like meats, and one of the things of drying meats is the hard thing to keep your meat flavor, because you have to use so much of the preservative, and usually it was salt and pepper, right? That it changes the taste of the meat. But then you can take that meat and add it to a dish and reconstitute it. And of course your dish is going to be salty, so you're going to have to counteract that. And some jerkies nowadays counteract that. It's not all hard tack like it used to be, the stuff that would last forever but turn to powder in your mouth. Now there's all kinds of jerky. You name it. And out here, jerky is pretty popular too. Not only is it a survival food, I always use it as a travel food, because if you do get into a problem, it will last a long time, and you will have protein to get you through. And believe me, you don't want to be stranded in the desert, in the cold or in the heat. Either way, it's very dangerous. So, in case you missed, we got the sunrise up there, but I think we can switch off the sunrise today because it's starting to give us a glare for one. Oops, wrong one to turn off, huh? Yeah, there we go. All right, and so we're going to hop over here, and let's see what else we got. Yep, this one and this one. Of course we do. There's our standard logo set, as usual. Next, I was going to talk about our class reunion. 1984 class reunion is this year, May 25th, I believe. Maybe I should double check on the legal pad he sent me. I'm pretty sure we have an event on Facebook for it. And so it's going to be on the corner of 4th Street and Andy Devine. It's kind of the parking lot behind Sporty's. I think Sporty's will be running the liquor license, I'm sure. There'll be food trucks, live band, and should be a good time. Downtown Kingman on another Friday night. Of course, we have First Fridays during the warmer months, especially. We have First Friday downtown Kingman, the first Friday of the month. It's like a huge street party, pretty much. You got live bands and all the restaurants, and there's carts and food carts going. So that's also fun in downtown. Anyway, let's move on and see if we can't find some news and see what's going on in the world of Kingman. Now, I don't know how much of this made it to the actual news, because we usually are a small news area, because we are fairly small. About 28,000 people here. Surrounding areas brings it up to 60 some odd thousand. If you include, you have Hackberry, and you have Golden Valley, and you have Dolan in that area. Of course, now that's going to grow down into the highway, 93 on the way to Vegas. That's all growing up there. There's even a stoplight on there. They're building a new airport. So that whole area is going to grow and make the area even bigger. So let's take a look at the news here. If we can find some news, right? Oops. Because not everybody wants to let you read the news for free or even know what's going on for free. But if you follow scanners, we've had a lot of calls here recently on the scanner. So actually since the last broadcast, we've had bank robbery, police chase, shootout. We had a couple fires, a shooting or two. So it's been a busy week for a small place like Kingman. And I do not see most of these in the local news. I have seen several things from the bank robbery on Phoenix News, but see what the Miner has. Even though it won't let you read it, it'll give us a good idea. First Friday brings entertainment, food, art, and more. Yeah, we were just talking about First Friday. Oh, yeah. Clear the shelter events. And I see nothing in the news at either the Standard or the Kingman Daily Miner. Let's hop over here because they have a much more extensive on the Standard. Let's take a look at their court news. Maybe that'll give us a little. Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. So the one shooting was in Golden Valley, and the murder investigation's underway. And the bank robbery suspects were ID'd and arrested, which that was kind of a neat story. I want to see what they have to say here. I'll just read the entire report from the Standard, which it doesn't show the author, but they have always had people that report for other places around the area, radio and other newspapers as well. Kingman police report the Tuesday arrest of a second suspect in a Monday bank robbery that resulted in the shooting and hospitalization of the first suspect. The incident began at Mission Bank in the 2400 block of Wallapai Mountain Road. Police responded to a report of an armed man who fled a bank robbery late in the morning of Monday, February 26th. Witnesses indicated fleeing subject hopped into a gray truck that was later spotted in the 2500 block of Kingman Avenue off Andy Devine Avenue. That would also be Route 66. Minutes later and more than a mile away from the bank. Police Chief Rusty Cooper said one suspect remarkably was inside the Napa Auto Parts store, called a taxi, and fled the scene in the same time frame that arriving officers had counted the other weapon-possessing suspect and shot him outside. So that's the part that I wanted to get to. But the other news reports I read it a little bit different. I like how they word it here. One suspect remarkably. Yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, Mario Fagazzi, 53, Golden Valley, reportedly suffered multiple gunshot wounds and was in critical condition when flown to Las Vegas Hospital for treatment following the 11:10 a.m. shooting. So a couple hours after we get off broadcast. Review of surveillance video and interviews with witnesses. Some of them bank patrons led to Tuesday's apprehension without incident of Christopher Ayala in the 2300 block of Lass Avenue. Cooper said Ayala. Sorry, these names are complex and hard to read. 48 is from Olivehurst, California, and that his association with Fagazzi is not clear. Investigators determined that Fagazzi entered the bank, brandished a weapon, and demanded cash from the bank teller, while Ayala remained in the parked truck. Cooper said Fagazzi ran out of the bank with the stolen cash, which was $1,715, and fled in the truck driven away by Ayala. Officer reported all the cash taken from the bank reportedly recovered all cash taken in the bank heist from Fagazzi. Both suspects are charged with armed robbery and aggravated assault. The Lake Havasu City Police Department is conducting an independent review of the shooting standard procedure when officers are involved. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've seen everywhere else. They did have another article about originally when the bank robber was shot and the other one was sought. Let's see what they got for the Golden Valley. It's not much here. Golden Valley, a murder investigation is underway in Golden Valley, and Mojave County Sheriff's Office, MCSO, is hoping citizens in the know can provide helpful information. Deputies responded at about 8 p.m. Sunday, February 25th, when a woman who resides elsewhere in Golden Valley reported a man had been shot in the 2500 block of NACO Road. Deputies arrived on scene and observed the reporting party leading them to the victim, who was unresponsive, said MCSO spokeswoman Anita Mortensen. Deputies initiated life-saving measures, but the victim succumbed to his injuries. Mortensen said the victim has been identified as Richard William Ward, 40, of Las Vegas. Mortensen said it is not clear what connection Ward may have had with the property or its occupants. And so they are actively seeking anyone who may have information regarding this incident. And you can contact Detective Division at 928-753-0753 or toll free at 1-800-522-4312. These are articles, as I said, in the Standard newspaper, which has their online version here. Uh, this seems, let's see what the date is on this. This is still last year, but it's a follow-up. So, Kingman, a 15-year prison term has been imposed for a Bullhead City woman who pleaded guilty to manslaughter for a deadly traffic accident in Golden Valley. The punishment that Mojave County Superior Court Judge Lee Jansen ordered for Linda Tapia, 51, was stipulated in the plea deal that dismissed a number of other charges. Michelle Boons, or Michael Buns, Boone, it's hard to tell, Bunes. 51, Golden Valley, was fatally injured when ejected after the expedition he was operating was rear-ended by Tapia's eastbound Toyota Camry on Highway 68 about 1 a.m. on October 24th, 2022, so almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago. His partner mourned the loss of Boons during the sentencing hearing. I miss him and I need him back in my life, but that's not going to happen because he's dead, the woman told the court. Every day I miss his smile and laugh. That's sad. Deputy Mojave County Attorney Jacob Cote has said that Tapia had methamphetamine in her system at the time of the crash and that testing also revealed a blood alcohol concentration of 0.138, far beyond the legal limit of 0.08. Wow, yeah. That's pretty high. That's a shame. And here is the other one. So this is, like I said, it's been a busy week. February 26th. So Kingman, well, a Dolan Springs man who exchanged gunfire with Mojave County Sheriff's Office, MCSO. Detectives 5 days before last Christmas, the last Christmas, yeah, right, was sentenced to the Arizona Department of Corrections Friday, February 23rd. The 20-year prison term imposed by Judge Doug Camacho is punishment stipulated in previous plea agreement, convicting Edward Angelo, 27, of 2 counts of aggravated assault. The MCSO indicated that Angelo was named in arrest warrants when spotted by detectives on an ATV at a Dolan Springs intersection on December 20th. Agency spokeswoman Anita Mortensen said Angelo ditched the ATV and fled into the desert. No one was injured in the ensuing gunfire exchange before Angelo was taken into custody. Other charges in the shooting caper and charges in the 2 other cases are dismissed in the global resolution of Angelo's criminally related legal matters. Okay. Like I said, it's been a busy week, right? I'm glad I checked that there. Let's see. What do we got? Community news. See if we got anything else here. Well, I'm not seeing anything. State news. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, you know what? That was my fault. Okay. Few things. Only kind of 2 here that we're in state news. So Arizona bill aims to reclaim social equity licenses for investors, and this is about marijuana dispensaries. And Arizona lawmakers are pushing to return social equity licenses for marijuana dispensaries to their original owners, alleging private investors, right, and cannabis corporations use predatory tactics to seize control of nearly all the lucrative licenses. This is a fairly long article, so I'm not going to read it here. But if you want, of course, it's at the standardnewspaper.online. And then, let's see. Oh, well, that's a little farther out, February 23rd, so more than a week ago, but kind of interesting. The Virginia campground in BLM Arizona Strip field office has gone 100% cashless, so they're only taking cards and contactless payments now for camping, which is quite interesting. Also, here we have, and I'll go through this one. It's about the bald eagle. Of course, I don't see the title now that I'm in the article, but here we go. For wildlife enthusiasts and outdoor recreationalists, there are few sights more thrilling than observing bald eagles raising their young during the nesting season. But eagle nests and young eagles are sensitive to nearby human activity. Too much disturbance by humans can cause the nest to fail or result in premature fledgling or injury or death to the eaglet that can't fly or defend itself. Bald eagle nest watchers, people who are stationed at nesting areas near high-use recreation areas to collect behavioral data and educate the public, started monitoring nesting areas February 2nd. During that first week, they observed multiple human-eagle conflicts at different nesting locations. People flying drones in the immediate nest area, presumably to get better view of photos. Photographers and a group of photographers hiking into nest areas to get closer photos despite closures being in place. A group of hikers going under a nest tree and flushing the incubating adult bald eagle and then hanging around for more than 30 minutes, causing the eggs to be unattended for the entire period. A boat entering a water closure and posting up under the eagle's nest. The group was overly loud, flushed the adult from the nest, and a raven swooped in and ate one of the eggs. Outdoor recreationists and other members of the public are urged to ensure their presence and behavior do not have a detrimental effect on eagles or their future use of the area. Below, the Arizona Game and Fish Department, AZGFD, offers some tips on bald eagle viewing etiquette to help ensure a successful eagle breeding season and a wildlife legacy for future generations. Enjoy from a distance. Bald eagles should always be viewed from outside the seasonal closures, which are marked with signs and or buoys. In the absence of a closure, watch from a distance using a spotting scope, binoculars, or telephoto camera lenses. No drone zones. Bald eagles are highly territorial and may react to drones as avian predators. For the safety of the bald eagles, which is our national bird, their nesting attempt, and your drone, keep the drones grounded while in bald eagle habitats. The bald eagles will let you know. If you're too close, bald eagles will intently focus on you while not taking care of their young, hunting, or feeding. If you are extremely close, they will vocalize and or circle the area frantically. It is important to leave the area quickly, as bald eagles should never be forced to leave the nest or prevented from attending to their young or eggs. Actually, those were backwards. Their eggs or young. Sorry, my reading goes too fast sometimes. Learn from the nest watchers. Many areas have nest watchers monitoring bald eagle nesting attempts. If you encounter a new nest watch team, please follow any guidance provided and take a moment to learn about bald eagle conservation in Arizona. If you see it, report it. You can help by reporting any harassment or shooting of bald eagles. Call Arizona GFD, AZGFD's Operation Game Thief hotline at 800-352-0700 or U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Law Enforcement at 480-967-7900. For more information, visit Arizona Game and Fish Department website, or this is another one, swbemc.org. And that's not the Game and Fish. Arizona Game and Fish is azgfd.com. So the other one is a non-profit organization. I'll look it up for you and see what it is here. Southwestern Bald Eagle Management Committee. Okay. So I think we'll hop back here to community news and see what we have. There we go. Well, we have quite a few here just for the beginning, of course, of March. City begins Eastern Street realignment project where it's going to meet airway better. So that whole area is going to be reworked. City slurry crews begin overnight work Sunday with significant road. Well, this is down in Bullhead, of course. So solid waste container replacement continues. City of Kingman has begun removing the 300-gallon and 1.5-yard steel shared containers from alleys and giving customers their own 90-gallon containers. That's the same. Well, this will be interesting. It's about brand management, and this is a pastor. It's quite long, but not too bad. Pastor Kent Simmons, probably. Brand management seems to be a corporate nightmare in this age of information and advertising. Yeah, it's really changed over the years, hasn't it? In just the past year, companies like Anheuser-Busch, Target, and Disney have all faced various forms of boycotts over their stance on cultural issues. Whoops. For instance, Bud Light, an Anheuser-Busch subsidiary, took massive hits over a marketing campaign that included transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. And once again, you know how I feel about influencers. You should speak to someone who has some knowledge about the field and products, and not just somebody who's an advertiser. That's all they are. It's just they're promoting a product that they get paid to promote. We need more of, I promoted a product because it's good. I promoted this company because it does a good job, not because it's advertising and marketing. Anyway, I'll get back to the article in the Standard, and stop editorializing. While few like to talk openly about companies that have gone woke, especially due to fear of being canceled by culture, there is still an adage that says people vote with their wallets and feet. In the case of these corporations, people took their wallets elsewhere. To be sure, these events have been fascinating to watch and caused me to consider brand management of churches in America. I will probably ruffle some feathers, but television preachers, teachers, and Christian life coaches almost universally damage the good name of Christianity's founder, namely Christ. How many people form their opinion about Christians from these very few? How many rejected faith based upon these influencers? Definitely right. You're definitely right. The ones that stood out for me in the church were the bad people, not the good, and that's a shame. What is worse is the rank and file Christians, including me, mess up the good name of God's Son too. How might you ask? Let me give a couple examples. There are some basic expectations most people think a religious person must possess to be considered authentic. The first is integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. It is knowing right from wrong, showing personal responsibility and consistency in actions. If a person claims a religious standard for their lives, people will watch to see if they mean it in practice. I don't know if that's actually true, but I believe this should have been in opinion center community news. But he does make some good points here about branding and the branding of churches. Because if you actually do read the Bible, the New Testament is about having a connection with God through Christ. So there is no need for a church. The idea was to get rid of the churches. And if you look at the 2nd century, the book of Judas, it was talking about the church was so corrupt that the story is told a little different in the book of Judas. But anyway, we'll get off the religious stuff because that's a hot topic to get people all riled up and start crap. Anyway, that's all I see here. Let's go check out some business stuff. Actually, let's go check opinion since we just did a little opinion. We don't normally push opinion in the news. I don't see anything here. But whoever this opinion has, I mean, I worked on the census, and there's not 37,000 people in Kingman. If you include Golden Valley and Valley Vista, you'd be pretty close. Maybe Hackberry to get to 30. But this person is talking about a population of 37,000, growing at a rate of 2.9 annually. Its population has increased by 12% since the most recent census, which recorded a population of 32,000 in 2020. Pretty sure it was 28, but could be. This is editorial, so. But this person seems to know their stuff, but they're running for Kingman City Council, of course. So they want to put their spin on what's going on out there. What else? I don't see anything else here. Don't really like to do opinion too much anyway, for the same reason. It's just like religion. It's more confrontational. So we don't need confrontation here. Let's see what we got in business news. Couple maybe, yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay, I guess this is for last year. Bettors in Arizona wagered over $693.3 million on sports in December. A lot of money. Kingman, a dispensary project is underway. The Medusa Farms is building, and you can probably see the signs over there off of Airway. They're building a brand new dispensary. That's like Havasu. This is Mojave County. We'll take a look at this. Mojave County Department of Services could lose its director and top clerical staff member next week. Development Services Director Tim Walsh remains a finalist with Edward Dickey for the possible selection for the Kingman City Manager position. More than 40 people applied for the job following the contract termination of former City Manager Ron Foggin last August. Foggin? Not sure. Deputy Manager Tina Moline is serving as acting manager following the early February exit of interim manager Grady Miller for a new job in Cave Creek. Walsh and Dickey were interviewed during a 5-hour-long Kingman Council executive session on Tuesday, February 27th. The council will take up personnel matter During another executive session at the end of the regular meeting on Tuesday, March 5th, Development Services Administrative Specialist Laura Skubal is recommended for appointment as interim clerk of the Board of Supervisors. A panel interviewed Skubal this week along with internal county employee applicants Amber Dale, Amanda Nye, and Roxanne Turner. The recommended appointment of Skubal will be considered during the Monday, March 4th meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Clerk Ginny Anderson is stepping down on March 8th after accepting another job that will allow her to be closer to her family. That was what we had in business news, I guess, on the Standard, right? Yep. And so, other than that, we got some, see if we have any good legal notices out there. Let's see. Metaforum Chimer Spirit Inc. Articles of Incorporation, nonprofit corporation entity. Articles of Organization for Limited Liability Company entity name Amici, AMICI Pool, LLC. These are just articles of incorporation will file the office of the Arizona Corporation Commission for Discovery Marketing Agency, LLC. Discover Marketing Agency, LLC. But, which the format of that just looks weird. Apricity Holding, LLC 2. Oh, no. Apricity Holding, LLC. Another place. It's going to be on Stockton Hill 2. Articles of Corporation for River Oasis, LLC. That's in Bullhead. And Summers Administrative, LLC. Trustee sale. Okay. So that covers most of that. And I did not see any chatters, and of course we don't have a guest. Everybody's afraid to talk, I think, online. I've done this several times, and I have lots of recordings. But I guess everybody's not as enthusiastic as I am. But thanks for those that join me. We are getting a lot of watchers, a lot of visitors. It is coming up good and fast. I'd love to get some other people in here to hear their opinions besides just mine. You know, you guys don't need to hear just my opinion. But I will try to bring you the information in the area every Monday, as usual. And let's take a look and see if we have any chatters anywhere. So there's nothing in any of the Discord channels. I don't see anybody on, although we have put out over 180 invites that have been clicked on. That's nice numbers. Growing, hopefully, that people will come in. We have had a few questions and people talk, but no consistent visitors and chatters. Well, you know what? We could do an invite here for people to test. We need to beta test the Liv Kingman actually site that lets you play games and do stuff. And the gaming part is the part I would like to test, really, to tell you the truth, because the other stuff The other stuff's just standard Discord, but the community stuff is what I'd like to test, including the game part, which is done by a third-party website. So we're going to look at this here real quick and see what the invite is for that. But I'm going to put an invite up for Discord, and it'll take me a second here. Let's switch through and make sure that we don't have any conversations going on Facebook or YouTube too. Since we are live streaming, I don't see any chats anywhere, so nothing to worry about there. And then we're going to hop over here to broadcast. I'm going to add that text here. Oh man, I really messed up that because I had my caps lock on, I guess. I'm going to leave it though because the link is correct. And of course, everyone's going to see this, so that'll cause a lot of people to test it. So I'll put this up here. Ooh, that is big. There it is. Should we get smaller? Oh, I can. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's much better. We're going to give a black background, so we're going to get rid of the screens we have up there right now. So this is easier to see. Anyone, of course, on Discord is seeing what I'm doing because we broadcast before. We broadcast on Discord before anywhere else. So if you're on Discord, you can see the actual production that is going in, and that's where our guests come in and everything. So, but if you would like to join that Discord, test that out as a community, there isn't many rewards. There's a badge available to 10 people, and if it all works out and the game system is nice, it has things about Kingman and things like that. If that works, it's all automated AI, but I'd like to get your opinion on it and see if the people would like stuff like that. Okay, in fact, let's go over and look at it. I think on the contest, yeah, it's called Sesame Labs is the company that does it, and there's all kinds of things. New quest published: discover Kingman's past, dive into the history of Kingman, visit our articles on Kingman's historical landmarks, and share your thoughts in our Discord. This one is a new quest published: Kingman Book Club. What are you reading this month? Okay, this one's a new quest published: Local Business Spotlight. Write a tweet highlighting your favorite local small business. This one is a quest for Sustainable Kingman, which is actually share a photo of your sustainable landscape or water conservation efforts in Kingman. Sorry, I still have quite a bit of phlegm, and it's really hard to talk. But it'll be just fine. There's another one that's a Kingman Trivia Challenge, and here's one about checking in on the website. So these are little quests. What's this? Little quests that you get points for, and those points can then be used to buy badges, titles, positions on here. And so I will not be just letting anyone be a moderator. People who live right here in the Kingman area, those 28 to 32,000 people that live right here, will be any of the officers on that community. So admins, moderators, uh, historians, they will be local. Okay, so that's a completely different server than where we are, and of course to get to us on the Kuhl Productions server, which is where we do all of our different type of stuff, then you can go to our website, livekingman.sowronggaming.fun, and it's where we seen the weather earlier, and you'll see a Discord link up at the top, or you can just add to the end of that address /Discord, so which would be livekingman.sowronggaming.fun/Discord. Both of those will take you to the Live Kingman Discord server, or the Kuhl Productions Discord server, and the link we are currently showing, because the link we are currently showing will get you into the Live Kingman community beta test, which is the whole Discord server that's built around a community. Okay, so oops, let's go back over here. Take a look. Oh, this is an old one here. I'd like to maybe get a fire in the sky picture for you from earlier this morning. I'm going to bring that camera back up. A live webcam, of course. Oops. Oh, wrong one, huh? There it is. Yeah, that's what I want up there. And on. Take me just a second here, sorry. Gotta rewind here a little bit on the video. Oh yeah. There we go. A little bit of what we've seen this morning. Switch that over for you so you can see it. And these stay recorded in blocks, so you can actually go back and look at the weather of Kingman, as we have done some where we clip the video and time lapse it, and so you can see. And maybe I can get a time lapse effect for you here. I don't know if this will show through onto the yeah, it might. Yep. So we can get a time lapse effect right down there in the small window to see how the clouds have come and gone. And we get some neat effects. Of course, that was night there at the end. But if we slowly go through this, it gives us a time lapse of what happened in the weather for the last few hours. And you see the sun coming up there, and it just like burns off the clouds. They just spread out. It's a pretty neat little effect we had there this morning, right? That is pretty neat. Okay, with that, I'm going to leave you. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, if you did tune in, and all the watchers that keep watching afterwards. You know, you can watch this anytime. Facebook only keeps them up for 30 days, but you can always go to YouTube, and the location on YouTube, it has them all the time, is at Kuhl Productions LLC. KUHL Productions LLC has all these videos, because this weather station is on our YouTube at Live Kingman. Okay, so you guys have a good day and a good week, and I'll see you back here next Monday.